Welcome to my apiary. It's July 17th, 2022. It's a Sunday. I vowed I was taking today off, but because I've been spending about a week working on my garage, I haven't seen my girls in a while, so I couldn't stand it. I thought I need to come out here and at least poke around a little bit. It's 33 degrees C out here. The Humidex has driven that to 40 C. And a Humidex, a real feels like temperature of 40 C for a Canadian, that's really hot. We don't handle that very well. It seemed like it was only yesterday I was running out here in knee-deep snow and braving the cold wind in a Colorado low to check on my hives. And now today, the wax is melting off of my beehives. It's really quite remarkably hot out here. I know you can't tell on the video, but it's hot. Not very often I wear a sun hat. And that's about all I have because I don't wear a hat very often. It's kind of a nice hat because it's vented. Regarding my grafting process here, I alluded in a previous video that I was going to try something different, and I never have. I would really like to get another round of cells, maybe two, because that puts them emerging just in the early days of August. And I thought maybe I could use my cell finisher for this, because what I need for this is a strong queen-right colony for a cell for a cell builder finisher. It's the process uses the same colony for starting and finishing the cells. Okay, so this is a different method than I've been using for queen rearing. It uses all the same principles, really, but I just want to try something different. It's been working well for my student. So what I need to do here is I need to find the queen in the bottom of this double colony. And I apologize in advance. It's so hot out here I can't hardly think. And so talking I might not make much sense. And I'm planning to take the queen out and put her in that little box up there. And I'll set that little box right on beside this on top of those boxes up here when I'm done. Because the principle is the same. The principle I was using was this queenless starter colony would start my cells, and 24 hours, 48 hours, I'd usually leave it 48 at least, and maybe that was my problem. Then those cells would move to the queen-right finisher. And in this system, the entire colony will become, I'm not going to be using that queenless starter. Okay, that's not in this equation. So I'm going to make this colony queenless. We take the queen out, move her to that nuke, let her sit there for the duration, which will be 5 days. So then that will be queenless. I'll come back in 4 days. So today's Sunday. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I come back on Thursday. I will check that for rogue cells, and I'm sure there are going to be a lot of them. And I'll destroy all those rogue cells, which is kind of weird because then I'm going to put my graft cells in there. So then on Thursday, I will graft from my breeders, or just off camera here, into that. Now I can, if the weather turns bad or something happens, I can't graft Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that's fine. I can't do it before Thursday. It has to be 4 days for the brood to time out, so that they can't make any more cells after I destroy them on Thursday. So after I graft, saying I graft on Thursday, then on Friday I come and I take that nuke and I put that queen back in this colony and make it queen right. Now my cells are above that queen excluder, queen's in the bottom. She can't get to them, and that's supposed to be how it works. We're going to see together. I quizzed my student on how are you putting that queen back in there? Are you caging her and slow release, etc.? And she said, Nope. He's just putting her in the hive. So I guess we'll give it a shot. So today's task is to find the queen. Find the queen and get her in that nuke. Set that nuke off to the side. Look at the bearding on this hive, is just tremendous. I haven't had to use a lot of smoke lately, but I was out here yesterday. It wasn't quite as hot, but I was just checking some mating nukes and whatnot, and I was wearing my bee jacket and veil. I didn't do up the bee jacket. I wasn't wearing gloves, and I got stung a number of times in the hands. They were all over me. So without further ado, let's see if we can find this queen. Now this hive may actually need another box. We're in honey flow, so they're, oh dear, yeah, they're really filling this up. So this is what starts to confound queen rearing in July. In my part of the world, July is the honey flow in my part of the world. So you can see, can you see the white wax from there? As soon as you open that, you see that white wax, you know that's honey flow. Look at this. Look at that white wax and that beautiful honey in there. So this box will actually just get set aside for a few minutes. And it's going to be heavy, I'll tell you that. That's going to be a minimum 50 pound, possibly 60 pound or more box. Oh, yeah, 60 at least. Oh, I thought I just saw my queen running around there. Oh well, guess I'll have to find her the old-fashioned way. You see people do that. You hold the middle of that queen excluder, because if you just pull it, it'll spring up and the bees shoot up. And they really hate that. Especially, you know, when you're working with just a veil. You want to keep them happy. I'm going to get a chair, because I need to find a queen. Even that chair is hot. Holy smokes. Whoa. I find even you set tools down in the sun and they get too hot to even pick up. I don't know how people in hotter climates do it. I guess they say the same thing about us in the winter. I don't know how you do it. Well, you might freeze to death. We don't cook to death usually. We do, because we're not used to it. So a lot of people in this part of the world die in this heat. And it's interesting, you know, the prairie area is largely considered like a desert, in that it's very hot and very cold. It gets cold at night and hot in the day. It'll be 20 C variance between day and night sometimes. And most of the houses have a big air conditioner, and they all have a big furnace. Look at the pollen on that. Beautiful pollen frame. That's what you want in a cell builder. So that's exactly what I want to see. Man. Yeah, sometimes you have sweat running down your back and it feels like a bee and you're not sure if it's a bee. But I'll tell you what, if you have sweat running up your back, it's a bee. Look at the beautiful brood. Now, I'm sure she's marked, so this shouldn't be too difficult. It's nectar just running out of that frame. Oh boy. It's just a remarkable day. So I may be supering in the next couple of days. Oh boy. Come on, go down. I don't want to smoke lots and make the queen run all over the place. She's laying her best, but they're filling it all with nectar. That nectar, that is just the treat. Oh, that is the treat. You get that when it's runny and hot out of the hive. Wow. That's the treat right there. Oh gosh, the bee and she stung me. I don't know if you can see the brood in there. It's just full of fat white brood. It's beautiful. Tomorrow's bees. I'm trying to get the bee to go out from under the ear. This heat is remarkable. Just remarkable. To just work so slow, take breaks, lots of water. And I'm not even planning to do much out here today. Come on, queen, where are you? She's laid that all up too. These were all empty frames last time I visited. And I don't keep good enough records to know when that was. I look back at my videos, I suppose. There's my queen. I don't know if you can see her. There, blue dot. So I just want to put her in this frame in this little nuke box. Just like that. And they're going to need another drawn frame. And they're just plugging out with honey again. since they've obviously run out of space, I'm going to go ahead and slide some empty comb in the bottom, which they're likely just going to fill with nectar. Because they won't have a queen, so she's not going to lay in it. Okay, so now we have a queenless box here, and so therefore I don't need a queen excluder. I can put my my honey box and stuff all right up back up on there. But when I come back in 4 days, I'm going to have to strip it all down again. All of my young brood is in here, so I'm going to have to strip it all down and get rid of the rogue cells that are in here. But for now, I can put my honey box back up here. Remove these 2 frames I took out. Well, this is heavy too, holy smokes. Heavy, heavy, heavy. My student who does this, she runs all mediums. I think she's pretty wise in a lot of the stuff she does. Okay, now I'm just gonna set one of these, if I can choose. Set one of these up here, put these frames in it. They're on such a flow, I may just have them build some foundation for me. So I'm going to get 8 frames of foundation for that. These are actually frames that my wife built for me yesterday. And that's black right cell right out of the box. Nothing special, no tricks, no gadgets. Right cell out of the box and a honey flow, and that's all I use for building comb. I wasn't going to run these foamies all summer. I just wanted them for a winter space filler so that the bees didn't stick the lid to the frames, because that caused a big mess. I wasn't using it as an insulator, but I do think on a day like today it'll be a fantastic insulator, because that cover is almost too hot to put my hand on right now. Okay, so I have one order of business yet, and that is my little nuke here. With my queen. And I'll just set her right here. Okay, I've gotten some frames here. Everything's a chore when it's so hot. These are nice. I've been drawing a lot of foundation because I'm low, and these are brand newly drawn honey frames from last season, but they're on black right cell, just like what I just put in there. And except for that one, that's yellow. Oh. I like my brood frames to be on black foundation. So much easier to see those larvae and eggs and stuff. Okay, we'll put the lid on this little guy. Now, some of the logic here that my student uses, she was describing, what she does and why she does it. She runs about 25 colonies, so not a really big operation, but she actually produces quite a few queens for the size of her operation. And what she really likes about this is that she doesn't like the idea of taking an entire hive for resources away to make queens, like a queenless starter. And what she likes is she can choose any strong colony and put the queen over here, and the queen never stops laying for those 5 days or even maybe a few more. That she can go to her apiary and choose any strong colony she likes to build her cells, do what I just did, and then the queen theoretically will keep laying. I know that she will take a little while to start laying again, and that's mostly because the frames I just put in here are not prepared. The bees need to clean them out and prepare them for laying, so that could take a day or two. And so then theoretically the queen is not going to stop laying during that time. And then when she's all done with raising around the cells, the queen goes back in there, and nobody was the wiser. And again, I apologize, it's the heat. I'm having a hard time keeping my thoughts straight. I'm going to get a brick to put on that little lid, because it even is a little wobbly at that. I'm going to leave it at that today. I can't take the heat. I was supposed to take today off anyway. It is Sunday. But this was weighing on my mind. I wanted to get this started because, again, this is going to take me until Thursday to even start. Even to do a graft. So I wanted to get that going. I was getting anxious. Anyway, that's that's today. It's Thursday, the 21st of July, 2022. I went through this hive, so there's no queen excluder in this hive, and I went through the whole hive, and I destroyed any queen cells that were started in there, and there weren't really very many, but there were some, so I got rid of them. So there's still no queen excluder in this hive. I grafted 45 cells, so that's 3 bars, and I put that in the bottom box here. And there's a little bit of open brood. There's a nice frame of bee bread that I found. I put right beside my graft frame. This is a very strong colony, so I don't think 45 cells is going to be too much for them. Queenie is still in here in the nuke, and the instructions are tomorrow, 24 hours later. And if it's going to be actually 24 hours, it has to be tomorrow afternoon, because I didn't graft until probably 3 o'clock. So tomorrow afternoon, I'll come and look at that frame, and I should be able to see what they've started on that frame. But I want to move that frame then up, maybe up to this box, put my queen excluder back in, and put my queen back in. Now she says that she takes that queen and just back in the hive. I think maybe I'll try that. We'll see how that works. You got to be brave to find out what works. You can always do things the real cautious and complicated way without really knowing if the easy and quick way really does work. It's kind of like the virgin introductions that I do. And it's like, I decided to try it and it works, so that's what I do, and it's super easy. So that's what's going on tomorrow. That's what happened today, and that's what's going on tomorrow. Today is a report card day for my latest graft. I grafted 45 cells into this bottom box yesterday. And today, I'm going to really ravage this colony because they're making too much honey. This is very inconvenient. So I'm going to take all the honey away from them. So I'm going to take all these honey frames, shake them off, and put them into a box on the side. Then I'll take them over to the apiary and put them on a couple of strong colonies that contain all that honey. And then I will give her some brood and some drawn comb in the bottom, and then fill the top with my graft and a lot of the brood that's in the bottom. There's a nice bee bread frame there for them. And then, you know, obviously fill it out with drawn comb. So that's what I'm doing here right now. Oh, and the other thing, I talked about the queen. Yes, the queen is up here in this nuke. I'm going to put her back down in here under the queen excluder when I put everything back together. That'll be a few minutes yet. I squashed a great big grasshopper when I put that together. We're sure seeing a lot of grasshoppers again. I'll just shake these frames and throw them in that box. This box is actually largely foundation. It maybe can just stay on here as a honey box. 2 honey frames in it, but I'll get rid of it for now and then decide once I put things back together. I don't have to worry about a queen. There's no queen in here. I'm anxious to see how my grafts went. Okay, that one's empty. Second verse, same as the first. This is definitely a honey box, so this will go once I get it shaken off. Once honey flow hits, you know, it's handy to have this gripper for pulling that first frame. They get heavy and really jammed in there. And again, I'm not too concerned about shaking absolutely everyone because there is no queen, so I'm not worried about shaking off the queen. I just don't want to deplete this hive of resources. All right, I guess I banged that box on there. Maybe I shouldn't have, because there's, well, maybe it doesn't matter, because they're, it's not like they're mature cells, but it's probably not good practice anyway. So let's see what we have. What do I have? I have almost nothing, but there's something there. So they didn't like that entire bar. I've got one there. Well, there's 0 out of 15. There's 1 out of 15. There's 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have 5 out of 45. I have 5. I'm not very good at this. So I'm beginning to think there's something else wrong with my process. So I'm going to set this down here, and I'll just pull the frame that the queen is on in here and slot it back in the middle. Hopefully I don't kill that queen. Guess we'll find out. Five is better than 0. That's a lot of grafting to come up with 5 cells, though. There's 2 frames in here. Where's the queen, though? There's the queen. Queen with the blue dot. Okay.
So now it becomes a finisher.
Now it becomes a queen right finisher. Squeeze that in. And now we'll put the queen excluder back on. You know, I was going to pull a lot of those frames out of there. I was certainly going to pull that nice bee bread frame, which I think was this one. I don't want to disturb them too much to make them decide that that queen is no good. Go and kill her. Pull this. Yeah, that's the bee bread there. I think I'll pull a couple more because they're quite. She's quite bound up. And I can still see her walking around, so I haven't pulled her out. So these are brood frames, sealed brood, and I have some. Holy smokes! Stung me right in the thumb. Son of a gun. You know, it seems to me that's a really sensitive place to get stung. Here's some more. I think that's more bee bread. Well, I'll leave that one here. Put these two here. Just want to give her something to do. Okay. Not gonna fuss. Okay, so I'll get my graph frame in there. All 5 of my cells. Good grief. So I'll keep working on that. There's something wrong with what I'm doing. That nice bee bread frame right beside it. It looked like they had a good start on the royal jelly in those cells. That's encouraging, at least. And all kinds of drawn comb. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now they've got lots of place to put all that incoming nectar. She's got a place to lay on the bottom. And that's it. So I'll do a follow-up later on. See how those 5 cells made out. It's kind of ridiculous.